Almost certain that during this era that will probably last another year and a half or so, we're more bound to construct shows that will last longer. The shows that we do will be more localized. One of the immediate effects of the pandemic was the lockdown. It affected the institutions because since the doors were closed for the publics, we needed to postpone, delay or cancel exhibition or other projects. And of course the future was uncertain. We didn't know how long the lockdown is going to last or how we will open once the lockdown will be suspended. In this situation, we decided to reach out to some of the artists that are close to the institution to sustain the contact. We commissioned some new pieces from them as an homage to conceptual art, mail art initiative from early 70s, initiated by Laszlo Beke, a Hungarian art critic and curator. The title, as was the original's project, was Work Equals Documentation of Imagination, and the premise was to address the situation not on the level of the contents, but rather within the framework of the project itself. The pieces that we've commissioned were not pieces that were time consuming. We thought that we can prepare a collection based on things that the artists that we otherwise work with were doing anyway. So we've asked them to send us pieces that would be files in digital format, so that we would make a collection that is fully available online. In that way, we used funding for collection to sustain the contact, to continue our conversations, and to redirect these funds to fees. And hence, we were testing all those simple ways in which we can reconnect. However, from the very beginning, we didn't thought that this activity will fully replace the exhibition making or different other activities of the museum. After all, the institution is based on the materiality and the care and the conservation of existing objects. A lot of our time is dedicated to studying and research into things that are already in our storages. Hence, the online content and the online contributions with other projects that we did, such as the Instagram residencies or the reading sessions of our books made by artists, were largely projects that researching the collection or involving these artists with our holdings. So that once the institution was reopened, there was another desire from our publics to see the exhibitions live and have this a possibility of immediate contact that during the lockdown was fully prohibited. In this moment, I think that the priority also for the institutions is still to address the situation. We're almost certain that during this era that will probably last another year and a half or so, the strategy will of a lot of institutions will not be the strategy of doing blockbuster exhibitions. With limits of visitors per floor, we're more bound to construct shows that will last longer, will be available for a longer period of time. But also, with the limits in traveling, we feel that the museum could be more involved with the local publics and the local context in terms also of artists that are at hand, while still being able to exchange globally. The shows that we do will be more localized. The other thing is that this period also allows us to seek solutions in the past. In the small essay that I submitted together with this video, I've showed the example of a piece by Simone Forti, a series of drawings where she notes on one side of a paper future and on the other side past, and then folds them so that we can see partly both together. Even in our collection there are pieces that give example of how the connection could be sustained even other than just mail art experiences of Eastern European artists. The museums and the institutions are still something that might fulfill this need to see the prototypes of solutions for the future and to reach out to research the pieces that were overseeing already the future that we have in our holdings.